have you recently completed your HCPC application but have not been selected for any job in the UK or have been shortlisted for any interview? Are you confused about whether there really are jobs in the NHS in the UK, and should you even be making HCPC applications if you are considering to come into the UK or migrate to any other country as a healthcare professional? If these are questions that plague your mind, then do not be stressed, because today's video is going to be answering all of them. But for those of y'all who haven't already followed me on Instagram, my name's Nikita and I make daily updates about life in the UK, working as a healthcare professional and landing those jobs successfully so that you can come on a work visa in the UK. And if that is your dream, do not forget to give me a follow, guys. But let's come to today's content, which is identifying what is the total cost of coming to the UK and is HCPC still worth it? So first things first, let's talk about the total cost related to HCPC registration. Now, obviously, I've met someone recently on my Instagram account who reached out to me saying that they've paid over sort of a lakh of Indian rupees and are still confused because they're not getting jobs in the UK right now. And if any of y'all come from middle class backgrounds like me, you would be concerned about that 1 lakh, which is a very valid concern. So let's just see what is the sort of cost split up for the HCPC. So as you can see on your screens right there, when you are asked to sort of apply for HCPC, there are two main costs that you need to be aware about. The first is obviously your scrutiny fee, and the second is your registration fee. Now, other than this, there are several other costs involved in your UK process, and if you are confused about it or would like more clarity about them, please do not forget to check out this video where I have explained all of the costs related to sort of working into the UK and making your way here. But for this video, let's just focus on HCPC itself. So like I said, the two main costs are your scrutiny fee and your registration fee. So your scrutiny fee is something that HCPC asks you to pay when you submit an online application. So this is a sort of fee that you need to make immediately once you submit your application. And right now it nearly stands at £539, which if you think about it in Indian rupees is nearly 50,000 to 55,000 Indian rupees, give or take. Now remember that this sort of payment can be made through your debit or credit card. So keep that in mind that for making this payment, you do not need bank account details, but you need to use your credit or debit card. Now that we've covered the first major fee, let's speak about the second major fee. So the second fee is the registration fee. Now, for those of y'all who are not aware, HCPC runs its registration cycle every 2 years. So if you pay the registration fee today, you should have it for up to 2 years. However, this sort of runs only in the cycle from Jan to December. So if you are joining the cycle anywhere in the middle, say for example, right now we're in September and you're joining the cycle in September, you will be asked to pay either the fee for 1 year or 2 full years. So the total fee for the 2 years of registration is at £196, and therefore the fee for 1 year of registration is at £98. Now again, let me explain this to you. So for example, if you are right now in the middle of a registration cycle, we finished 1 year up till December, and right now this is a second year going on. And if HCPC has asked you to pay the registration fee, it would give you the option of paying about £98, but that would be just registration for 1 year. So maybe come at the end of December, you might need to renew your registration and pay the whole amount. Now again, many people are confused because they feel that HCPC registration runs for 2 years and are like, why am I getting a registration only for 1 year? But this is the answer, guys, because it depends on when you plan to enter into the cycle or when HCPC registration gets done for you. If you have any more questions about this, do not forget to leave them in the comment section below, because I do understand that it is quite a bit of confusing process for anybody who's doing this for the first time. Now, coming down to the next question of, is it worth it to do your HCPC registration? So I just want to pull up this screen right here, which says that there are about 25,000 vacancies going live every single month across 350 different career options within the NHS. Now, I obviously want to point out that these 350 different career options are not only things related to healthcare, but they're also things related to, or sort of jobs related to workers, carers, healthcare assistants, and so on and so forth, including admin and clerical staff. So I'm not trying to tell you that there are 25,000 jobs for clinicians alone, so that is healthcare professionals alone. But what I want you to realize is obviously that there are quite a few number of jobs out there for you. However, the situation still stands that many of y'all are getting your HCPC registrations but are not successfully landing those interviews or even clearing them. So what's going wrong? What is the mismatch here? So there are several reasons for this, and in today's video, I'm going to be able to explore all of them with you. Now, the first major reason is you are being too picky about location. Now, obviously, many of you all know that London is the biggest city in the UK, and obviously, many of you all would like to live in London. And that is why there is an influx of people applying to jobs in London. I would say if you are somebody who has recently got your HCPC registration, you should just look at applying for jobs anywhere in the UK, because what's important for you is that UK work visa. It doesn't matter whether you're in London or in Northern Ireland or in Wales or Cardiff or even any other city. As far as you get a job and get some good experience, you can always think about flipping that job within 6 months' time. Now, again, another question that gets frequently asked in relation to sort of moving jobs or switching jobs is that, Nikita, can I continue using my work visa from my first job for the second job as well? And the answer is no. Whenever you apply for a change in job or your employer has changed, you need to apply for a new work visa. So now that's cleared, let's just look at point number 2, which is banding of jobs or the sort of level of jobs that you are applying for. Now, obviously, if any of you all are confused about what are the band of jobs available in the UK, in the NHS specifically, I would highly recommend you check out this video where I've explained what are the different band levels and which level you should be applying for. But I have met people who maybe say have 6 years of experience or maybe even 10 years of experience, and they feel that it is below them to start a job at a band 5 or a band 6 level, and they start applying directly for band 7 jobs. Now, obviously, if you watched my video, you would understand that HCPC does take some experience transferable from your home countries, that's from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Philippines. However, remember that a band 7 role is a managerial role along with a clinical role. So you will have to supervise and manage junior staff. Also remember that the UK works in a very different way as compared to all of our home countries. So for you to be able to supervise or manage junior staff, you need to have some experience under your belt regarding the processes in the UK. What are the sort of clinical scenarios that might come up, and how should you actually manage good teamwork and sort of good clinical effectiveness within your teams. Now, none of this is easy, and it will not come to you overnight as a band 7. So for those of y'all who are obviously making those band 7 applications and not hearing back, or making band 6 applications and not hearing back, think about, is this the right level of job for you right now? Consider the fact that when you come to the UK, you obviously have good clinical skills from your home countries, but you might also need some good experience in the UK itself before you progress over the ladder into the next level of role. So keep that in mind about these jobs, guys. Next factor that is quite important is about salary. Now, again, many of you all are concerned about, obviously, if you all are leaving your home countries and coming to the UK, you're worried about, am I going to be paid enough? Should I go for a higher level of job just because I'm offered a higher level of salary? But just in the NHS, let me inform you that if you are on a band 5 level, you will be paid somewhere between sort of 1,600 to 1,800. I'm not really sure of the figures right now. I will make a detailed video about this in the future. Whereas if you're a band 6, you will be paid somewhere around 2,000, which is your take home pay. So this is your sort of pay that comes after the end of all of your taxes and deductions. And if you're a band 7, your take home pay would be nearly about 2,300. Now, as you can see, the difference is not really a lot on a monthly basis. So again, I would say, do not be very picky or do not be very demanding in terms of, oh, will I be offered this salary and what is the salary that I'm going to be working for? Because all of these salaries are fixed in the NHS. Again, if you go to a private company, you might be able to negotiate salaries, and this might be another point for you to consider if you are looking for a place with a better salary. But within the NHS, we have very rigid bands of salary systems in the UK, and that is something that you cannot negotiate with. So do not be picky about this, because again, if you've been landed your HCPC registration, the first thing you want to do is get that work visa under your belt. Coming down to the next point, which is having some dedication to the role. Now, obviously, if you are aware, you know that band 5 jobs can go out to actual physiotherapy graduates or, actual sort of healthcare professional graduates. So you just need to have your bachelor's for it. Whenever you make an application to the NHS, I would always recommend having about 6 months to 1 year of experience. Now, if you are concerned about why you need this, do not forget to check out this video where I've explained all of the reasons. But like I said, having that some minimal amount of experience will show the NHS trust that you have some dedication towards your profession or towards your role. It will also build up some really good clinical skills, which will be crucial for you to clear interviews at a later stage. And finally, coming down to the last point, which is obviously the number of applications. Now, If any of you are confused out there and think that, oh, I've not landed a job within maybe 5 applications or 6 applications, what is it? I'm getting demotivated. What do I do now? I would say this is entirely fine. I made nearly 60 to 70 applications before being selected for my first interview. What is really important is that you do not get demotivated at that stage and you try to improve your applications with every single one that you make. That means that you do not need to use the same application for all of the jobs. Try to be more specific in your applications about what is the key skills that are important and that set you apart from all of the other candidates. Now, again, for those of y'all who haven't really looked at my playlist related to this information, please do have a look at it. But if you are feeling really dejected and want me to look over your applications and give you some good advice and tips, do not forget to book a one-to-one session with me where we can do exactly that and help you to shine up and polish your applications further. So do not forget to get that really important experience for yourselves and show some dedication in your field. And one of the final points that I want to touch upon briefly in this video is actually the lack of number of jobs that are turning up. So if you would have sort of checked NHS jobs or tracked jobs about a year ago, you will see that there are many jobs that are coming up on a monthly basis. Now, again, like I said before, there are nearly 25,000 vacancies being put live every month. However, what I'm really stating over here is the fact that because of the recession and inflation in the UK, a lot of people are tending to hold on to their jobs and do not really want to progress to the next role, whether it's at the same level or at a higher level. Now, that obviously reflects as lesser number of jobs within the vacancy market generally. But like I said, this might be a more temporary phase right now and it might change. However, this is not to say that there aren't any jobs in the UK. If you pick up NHS jobs or track jobs website even today and you put in your occupation and your band level, I am sure that there will be at least 6 jobs or 8 jobs anywhere in the UK for you that you could make an application to. Also remember that the NHS employers are not really averse to hiring international graduates. They actually would love to hire international graduates provided they meet the standards and you show that you are enthusiastic about that role and you can actually demonstrate to them how you are going to meet their clinical competencies. So keep this in mind, guys, that NHS employers do not hate you. They are actually looking to recruit you if you have some really good clinical skills and can meet the demands of their teams and roles. Just to sort of summarize it up, if you are somebody who has had a lifelong dream of trying to work in the NHS, explore a different setting, maybe even come to live in the UK because your family live here, I would say HCPC registration is definitely worth it. But if you are somebody who is obviously looking for maybe an easy way into the UK and are saying that I've done my HCPC registration, it should be easy for me to land a job, then you are highly mistaken, my friend. And I would say give this a second thought because coming to the UK and landing a job is not really easy anymore. There is a lot of competition that you are going to face, so be prepared for it. And that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Take care. Bye.